Now you're ready to transfer the video files to your computer. If you have an iPhone, I actually have a link that's in the notes. It's a PDF document in the notes of this lecture that goes straight to Apple's page that tells you how to do this for an iPhone. For other kinds of phones, you might be using MS OneDrive, or manually you're going to have some kind of a thing like this that hooks into your phone and has a USB port. Or if you're going to be using a camera, well, with my camera, this is actually for my camera. This is not for a phone. So with my camera, I can connect to the computer and to the camera. And for this camera, I had a similar type of thing. Another port that connected in one end of this camera, and then the other end is a USB port that goes straight into the computer. Or I can just take out the SD card, which I'll do right now. I can just take the SD card out and pop that into my computer. Either way, that's how you can bring in the files, the raw files, to your computer. And with a lot of these cameras, once it knows that the camera's connected, it might pop up some software of its own. I know Sony had some like that. For the Canon I'm using now, I just look for it in Explorer. I have a Windows-based PC, and then I just drag and drop them where I want them to go. So then the next thing we're going to look at is how I run all of my raw video files through shareware, which means it's free software called Handbrake.
Handbrake is, as it says on their screen, an open source video transcorder. This is shareware, which is free software. Like it says down here, it's free. And the people at Camtasia were the folks who first focused me on downloading Handbrake and running my files from my Sony DSC camera. However, I still run my Canon video files through it as well. It makes it smaller in this case. So you'll want to download this, and then after you do, it will be in your start box. It takes a little while for it to open. So here's the tricky part, and I actually had the Camtasia guys work with me on this. So what I do is I go through all of my files and I name them, and I put the letters LG to remind me that it's a large file. So what I'm going to do is find some video files that I'm ready to work on. And that's not what I want. I want that. And I like to look at things in detail, and I'm going to do this one. And if there's just one, it makes it easier. So it's going to finish processing below there. The first thing you want to do is click this web optimized setting. And there might be some other settings that you might need to set as well behind the scenes. Then the first time you bring one in after you open it, you need to click Browse and click the particular file and then change the name. Click Save and then click Start. I've never had to stop it, but the processing shows in the lower left-hand corner, but I will come back after it finishes because you do not want to watch this whole thing. Now that that one is done, I actually have 3 more to do. So I'm going to click Source, open the file. It's in a different folder. All 3 of them are in the same folder though. Now the thing is, when I pull this one in, since I already had Handbrake open, Web Optimize is already open. But if I click Browse, it's going to put it into the last folder, which isn't what I want. I want it in the new folder. And this is the name, but I'm going to take off the indication of it being large and start. Now that the last one is finished processing, I just want to show you how small these are, if I can get my mouse to cooperate. So here I have 3 files that where they say LG. Those are the large files that I brought into Handbrake. So here's one that was 129 gigabytes and now it's 7. 1.8 million kilobytes is now 162,000 and 238,000 went down to 13,000. So that's Handbrake. When I bring the files into my video editor, I'm going to use the ones that are not labeled LG and they'll work just fine.